Okay, hi everyone, my name is Mariam Badi and I work with Emerging Public Leaders, and we run a fellowship program in Africa that's preparing the next generation of African leaders to think critically, act ethically, and drive good governance in government. And today I will share more about how our fellowship program began in Liberia and our key lessons learned in expanding this program from Liberia to Ghana in 2018. So the program started about a decade ago in Liberia. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came into power. She was focused on rebuilding the government after 14 years of civil war. The civil war had left the civil service in shambles, and with a bloated civil service with unqualified employees, many of whom could not read or write. And President Sirleaf needed capable employees at every level of government. So the idea was that she wanted to recruit and attract young, ambitious Liberian University graduates into the public service. And thus the President's Young Professionals Program was formed. And the PYPP was created to recruit and incentivize top-performing Liberian University graduates into the public service and provide them with the skills and resources necessary to ultimately drive good governance in government and improve the government's capacity to deliver essential public services. So the program model consists of 6 components, some of which are meritocratic recruitment, robust performance management, monthly civil service trainings, mentorship, supervision, and ongoing career development support. So what prompted our idea to expand beyond Liberia? We'll realize that the challenges of an ineffective civil service are not only unique to Liberia. Across the continent, government capacity is underinvested in, and citizens' dissatisfaction with how their governments are providing basic services has grown over the past decade. And to put into further context, the average age of a civil servant in Africa is 65, but the majority of the population is under 20. This means that we have leaders who do not represent the needs of the populations that they are serving. And as many of you know, governments can be a critical lever for social change and progress. But for this promise to materialize in Africa, we need a civil service force that is motivated and has the support that they need to do their jobs effectively. And our formula is simple. We believe that if we recruit high potential young talent into government, provide them with the resources that they need to be successful, we can see a better civil service force and a lasting prosperity in Africa. So the process for a program startup in Liberia and Ghana was quite extensive, but it consisted of planning, selection of the next country, design and implementation, as well as program launch. And we decided to go with Ghana because we wanted to expand our West Africa presence. We also did a feasibility assessment, and we kind of looked at the political climate and realized that Ghana was the best country for us to go for our next country. We also, because we didn't have a country presence at the time, we worked with 3 different organizations to kind of build our in-country operations, build relationships with key government institutions, and drive the recruitment of our first cohort of fellows. And as you can see here, we selected 20 fellows. They were placed across 9 government institutions. Although we weren't able to get that many women in year 1, we are focused on getting 50-50 gender parity for a second cohort, which we recruited this year. And we also had to take some contextual differences when expanding to Ghana. Ghana has a different history, different socioeconomic conditions, different business environment, public sector structure. And one of the challenges that we found was that, given that Ghana's civil service is actually much larger and it's structured differently, it operates differently, we had to learn how to adapt our value proposition to Ghana and learn how to kind of just tweak the value add that we provide into these ministries. We also had to take into consideration that the cost of program implementation in Ghana was not the same. Although we were implementing the same program with the same components, the costs just were not adding up, and we didn't really factor that in before we went into Ghana. So across the past decade, we've had 160 fellows placed across 34 institutions in 2 countries. We've had 93% of them who are still working in government, and 44% are women. We're aiming to get that to 50 really soon. And by 2023, we hope to make this truly a Pan-African program across 5 countries, at least 500 fellows. We're looking at a couple of countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, and Gambia. We're hoping to launch another country program in the next year. So yeah, thank you for listening to today's If you'd like to know more about Emerging Public Leaders, please visit our website or speak to me. Thank you.